Have you watched the previous episode's video? Welcome to the story of this episode, Chapter 52, Cultivation Achievements and New Crises. After a period of secluded cultivation, Sumu had become much more proficient in controlling the power of the reverse, time spiritual power, and the mysterious spiritual power seed. He felt that his strength had undergone a qualitative leap. Not only could he use the reverse, time spiritual power more freely, but he could also perfectly integrate it with his own spiritual power to cast powerful spells. Sumu walked out of the secret room. The moment Grandpa saw him, a hint of relief flashed in his eyes. "More. It seems that you've gained a lot from this secluded cultivation," Grandpa said. Sumu nodded with a smile. "Grandpa, I feel that I can use the reverse, time spiritual power more skillfully, and I've also discovered some new techniques for using spiritual power." However, before they could talk more, a commotion suddenly came from outside Linksea town. Sumu and Grandpa rushed to the entrance of the town. They saw dark clouds gathering in the sky in the distance, and a powerful and evil spiritual power fluctuation came from the horizon. Sumu's heart tightened. He felt that this spiritual power was extremely similar to that of the black-robed men he had encountered before. Soon, a group of black-robed men appeared in front of everyone. The leading black-robed man stood at the front of the team. His black robe fluttered in the wind, and his face carried a menacing and sinister look. "Sumu, you ruined the good deeds of our dark spirit sect. Today is your death day." The leader of the black-robed men roared angrily. The black-robed men behind him immediately spread out and surrounded Linksea town. Sumu was filled with anger. He didn't expect the dark spirit sect to dare to attack openly. "You people of the dark spirit sect have done so many evil deeds. I will never let you succeed today." Spiritual power surged around Sumu, and the reverse, time spiritual power formed a faint halo on his body's surface. Grandpa and the elders of Linksea town quickly stood beside Sumu. They also felt the powerful evil spiritual power on the black-robed men, but there was no fear in their eyes. "Muar, we'll fight side by side. We must not let them harm a single hair of Linksea town," Grandpa said firmly. The leader of the black-robed men sneered and waved his hand. The black-robed men launched attacks one after another. Streams of black spiritual power beams shot towards the people of Linksea town like meteors. Wherever they passed, the air seemed to be burning, making a hissing sound. Sumu circulated his reverse time spiritual power. Time slowed down around him, and he could clearly see the trajectories of the spiritual power beams. Sumu quickly waved his spiritual power-long sword, shattering the beams approaching him and Grandpa one by one. At the same time, he shouted loudly, "Everyone, be careful! The spiritual power of these black-robed men is strange. Don't take their attacks head-on." The cultivators in Linksea town quickly activated their spiritual power shields to resist the attacks of the black-robed men. However, the attacks of the black-robed men were extremely fierce, and the spiritual power shields began to crack under the continuous impact. Sumu knew that this couldn't go on like this. He decided to take the initiative to attack and disrupt the formation of the black-robed men. Sumu circulated his reverse time spiritual power, and his figure was as fast as lightning. In an instant, he rushed into the group of black-robed men. The spiritual, power-long sword in his hand shone with a fierce light, and every swing brought out a spray of blood. The black-robed men didn't expect Sumu to take the initiative to attack, and for a moment, their formation was in chaos. Seeing this, the leader of the black-robed men was furious. He waved the staff in his hand, and a huge black spiritual power whirlpool formed in front of him. The sounds of ghosts wailing and wolves howling came from the whirlpool, as if it could devour everything. "Die." The leader of the black-robed men roared and pushed the spiritual power whirlpool towards Sumu. Sumu felt the powerful suction and destructive power contained in the spiritual power whirlpool. He didn't dare to be careless. Sumu concentrated all his reverse time spiritual power, trying to slow down the rotation speed of the whirlpool and at the same time look for its flaws. Under the effect of the reverse time spiritual power, the rotation speed of the spiritual power whirlpool slightly decreased, but it still rushed towards Sumu at high speed. Sumu gritted his teeth, deeply integrated the power of the reverse times spiritual power and the mysterious spiritual power seed, and then sent a powerful spiritual power beam towards the center of the spiritual power whirlpool. The spiritual power beam collided with the spiritual power whirlpool, erupting into a dazzling light and a huge roar. The entire Linksea town shook, and cracks appeared on the ground. After the light dissipated, the spiritual power whirlpool was actually dispersed by Sumu's blow. The leader of the black-robed men looked at Sumu in shock. He didn't expect Sumu's strength to have increased so much in such a short time. "You? How could you become so strong?" the leader of the black-robed men said through gritted teeth. Sumu ignored him and instead took the opportunity to shout to the people of Linksea Town, "Everyone, attack together while we have the chance." Encouraged by Sumu, the cultivators of Linksea Town were greatly inspired. They all cast their most powerful spiritual power spells and attacked the black-robed men. For a moment, lights flashed and shouts of killing filled the air. The story continues. More exciting content is coming up. Subscribe as soon as possible.